Hello, it's a Friday ParaVlog time again. Now, I haven't done one of these since last October of 2015, nearly said 14. We've now entered the new year into 2016 and I thought it was time I started doing these again. I've had quite a bit of a break because I had an operation and it's taken me longer to recover than what I thought it would do. So I've been out of the game altogether. I haven't been out there paranormal investigating for quite a while. So therefore, I haven't really got anything new as such to show you. So this week I thought I'd do a little evidence review from an investigation conducted just under a year ago. It was in January at the Harwich Redoubt fort in Essex, and this was a production I put together into a documentary format to show everything that happened on the night. And there's a couple of interesting clips that I thought I'd review recently and put together for this vlog. Now, one of them is when we were in, I can't remember which area it was of the fort, but I heard something with my own ears that sounded like a man having a moan, and you can hear me saying this on camera. Nobody else heard it. Luckily, the camera audio picked this sound up. Now, when you listen to it, it sounds almost like it could be a ship in the distance's horn blowing. But it doesn't explain why nobody else heard it on the night. So what I've done is I've been reviewing this noise that I heard, and with my software, I've slowed it down slightly. And I've hired the pitch to how the sound comes through. And what I've found is that actually you can hear a man's voice saying, "I heard Kieran." Have a listen and see if you can hear it.
Who had that? Who had that?
So yeah, did you hear that? I heard Kieran. The interesting thing about this is that the Harwich, there is a guy called Kieran who works at the Harwich Redoubt fort. So this could be saying that there's something there, and they know Kieran quite well, and they hear him. So yeah, that's quite good, I think. Now, some people would argue with this. Excuse me, my hair's getting in my face and it's itching. Right. Some people would argue with this and say, that is not an EVP, you've had to slow it down, you've had to higher the pitch of it, blah, blah, blah. Well, I would argue that actually the paranormal is still very unknown. We do not yet know how these things come through to us, okay? Our ears, as a whole, hear different frequencies, okay? All the noises that are out there, we cannot hear. Such as, we are on a spectrum of noise, and we can hear between a certain frequency of hertz. A dog can hear things that we can't hear, such as you can buy these dog whistles which trainers use to train their dogs. We can't hear it, but a dog can hear it quite loud. Again, a cat, they have an even sensitive hearing. They can hear on a higher pitched scale of the hertz. And they can hear things, again, that dogs can't hear. They've got an even higher sensitivity to hearing. And then there's things that can hear less than us as well. Bats are another thing. They hear differently. They can't see. They're blind. The way they work to actually direct themselves is by their hearing sensitivities. They go by the sound vibrations as to where they go. Can't go into detail about that because I don't know the full ins and outs, but like I say, I know a little bit about a lot, but I'm no complete expert, because at the end of the day, when you're working in this field, there's no such thing as an expert. And the reason, I'm down on now. Yeah, so there's no such thing as an expert. And the different areas that we have to cover as investigators, there's just so much to it. So I learn as much as I can about each thing and about scientifically trying to debunk these things, and that is sort of how I go about doing it. So with these softwares, the audio software I've got, with me slowing it down and heightening the pitch, it enabled me to distinguish and hear those words that came through with this EVP saying I heard Kieran. And that is quite good because, like I say, these things come through on a different frequency. They might be working in a faster frequency. The frequency that they're coming through, they might be quieter to our ears, but the camera's probably picking it up. So that is one way I sort of get around and explain these possible paranormal EVPs. Some people would say it's audio pareidolia. Your brain is making sense and trying to distinguish, put words to something that isn't actually there. But it's interesting. So yeah, that's that. Now, the next clip I'd like to show you is what appears to be a partial apparition which was caught on my handheld camera as I was walking around. Now, it appears as a kind of a hooded robe, and you can see a sort of a long face, you can't make out any features, and then the hooded robe around it. Again, some people would argue that this is matrixing. It's the pixelated image coming through on the camera, and it's sort of appearing, giving us this illusion that there's something there when there isn't. I would argue against that, because with this camera, I can see how it picks out pixelations, okay? And this thing almost has its own mass. So have a little watch and see if you can see it. Yeah, so that was that. Did you see that? Now, the interesting thing about this is later on that night, as I was going around taking photographs, snapshots, the same looking figure appears in one of the windows. Have a look at these photographs. So did you see that in the window? Again, it looks the same as what was caught on the camcorder earlier. It's got the hooded robe around it, and it's peering out of the window, and you can almost see facial features this time. It's quite a longish face. So to me, that is quite interesting. Whether it is an apparition of a ghost that's resident at the Harwich Redoubt Fort, I don't know. But like I say, it's very interesting. Captured to the camcorder vision, handheld vision, captured to my camera's DSLR camera snapshots, and the EVP captured to the camera audio, and that is just one. But these are interesting, and I wanted to put it out there because of the way I analyse stuff and look at things. And again, with the camcorder's visual aspect of it, because it's working in IR, infrared, it's working on a visibility scale in the dark, picking up things that we cannot visually see ourselves again. So yeah, it's all interesting, fascinating, and there's no end to learn in this field. There really is. There's so much in detail to it, and the more and more you get involved and the more you do, it's actually mind-blowing what you discover. You're probably thinking, crazy lady, you know, believing in this stuff, blah blah blah. I do believe to a certain extent. I have seen stuff and everything, but like I say, I prefer to look on the scientific side of things. I like to fully analyse things. I like to know all the ins and outs of behind the scenes. That's like when it comes to putting together these productions for the documentaries. Again, that is something completely different to paranormal investigating. When you get working behind the scenes with all these editorial things, you can just see exactly how other people online have put together clips which are fake, and you can see how they've done it. That is something I would never dream of doing as a paranormal investigator, because I just don't believe in that whatsoever. What is the point in putting fake stuff out there? It takes the piss, basically, because there are people who will believe what you're putting out there and think, oh yeah, that really is, when it's not. And you can quite clearly see that it's not when you get into the whole editing side of things in the background, and you know how these things work. Yeah, so yeah, there's so much to it. There really is so much to it. It's never ending. So I hope I haven't rambled on too much this week. I hope you like the new look of the vlogs with the whole setup. I designed this myself and put it together. It took a little while, but just wanted to give a whole new feel to these vlogs, because like I said, I've been out of the game for quite a while now, and I didn't really know if I wanted to get back into doing these vlogs, because it's kind of nerve-wracking, and I'm putting myself out there, and to people to mock me, to laugh at me and think, what the hell is she doing? Why is she bothering? You know, but for me, the reason why I bother is because I like a video log, something that I can look back on, a video log of everything I'm doing within this paranormal, with the paranormal stuff, because it's scary. It can be scary. And one thing I'm finding is that now I've had time away, I think when I go back again, I'm going to be really scared, because I've had a chance to have a look at everything as a whole, what I've been getting. And the more and more I do this, the more stuff that comes through, and it is a little bit scary. And like I said, I've been unwell, and it's just, I don't know, it's not, everybody laughs, everybody thinks, oh, let's go do paranormal investigating, it's a fun night, blah, blah, blah. Yes, it is a fun night if you're just going for a one-off to have a laugh. But I tell you, the longer you persist with this, and the more you do it, the more you come across, it's enough to blow your brains out. It really, really is. It can drive you crazy if if you let it. So yeah, I've been wondering whether to get back into it, because I don't know, it's been nice having a break from it, I'll be honest, but I will get back into it, because I'm doing these productions and I'm trying to get more together, and there's no point in all the work I've done so far for me to just give up altogether and stop. It's a case of me plodding along alone, might I add. Obviously I work with people, alongside people in the paranormal field, and I meet different people all the time. People come, people go, and it's just, that's something I can't control, is the people who I work with. The people who are with me and who do work with me absolutely love it, and they experience things differently to probably what I do. Everybody has their own personal experiences and experiences these things in different ways. But the way I analyse things and I look at things, and the way I project things out there, is not always obviously something. Some people who work with me, not everybody wants to work in my style and the way I do things, unfortunately. So yeah, like I say, it is me alone, plodding along, working with numerous different people, and I've had the pleasure of working with Paranormal Eye UK, specifically Nikki and her team, and I'm hoping that in the future some of these documentaries I'm putting together are going to be with them. Again, we have a couple that we're probably going to be doing together, with the public as well, whoever decides to go along and pay for a ticket. So yeah, and that's sort of the way it stands for the future at the moment with this. So yeah, that's all I can say for now, really. Like I said, I'm going to be scared, very scared, going back. Yeah, and I hope this is an improvement from some of my last ones. I know I'm rambling on now, so I've got to stop, because that is something that I've looked at and reviewed and thought, oh my god, I ramble on so much about such a load of shit, it's boring. So I'm going to try not to do that in the future. So I'll stop now. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please comment, share, spread the word. Let me know if you investigate, if you've come across any evidence and you would like me to put it into one of these Friday ParaVlogs, because that is something I'd probably be happy to do in future vlogs. So yeah, send anything you've got across to me and I'll see about putting it into one of these vlogs and showcasing it on the screen here. So yes, thank you for watching. Until the next, bye for now.